In the dark underbelly of Britain's criminal world, Lee Murray, a charismatic yet notorious figure, was hatching an audacious plan. A name that would soon be etched in the annals of Britain's criminal history was not your run-of-the-mill crook. With a magnetic charm and a daring spirit, Murray was infamous for his audacity and cunning. Unbeknownst to many, this charismatic rogue was slowly weaving a plot that would shock the nation and rewrite the rules of the game. His target? The Securitas cash depot in Tunbridge, an imposing fortress safeguarding hundreds of millions in sterling banknotes. This was no ordinary piggy bank. The Securitas depot, a veritable Fort Knox, was heavily fortified, its walls echoing the clinking of countless coins and the rustling of countless notes. It was a treasure trove that would tempt even the most cautious of criminals. But for Murray, it seemed to be just another challenge, another notch on his belt. With a steely determination and a razor-sharp mind, Murray started to devise his plan. He knew that a frontal assault on the depot would be tantamount to suicide. No, he would need to be clever. He would need to be cunning. He would need to be audacious. And so he hatched a plan that was as daring as it was intricate. A plan that involved the kidnapping of the depot manager, Colin Dixon, and forcing him to spill the beans on the depot's security secrets. A plan that involved disguising his crew as police officers to infiltrate the depot, subdue the staff, and make off with the loot. It was a plan that was as audacious as the man himself, a plan that, if successful, would net him and his crew a cool £53 million. A plan that, unbeknownst to Murray, would expose the shortcomings in cash-handling security and prompt a rethink of cash-based economies. Little did the world know the stage was set for Britain's largest robbery. Under the cloak of darkness, the first act of this daring plot unfolded with an innocent man at its centre. A chill ran through the night air as Colin Dixon, the unsuspecting depot manager, found himself caught in the intricate web spun by Lee Murray and his crew. Unbeknownst to him, he was the key to a treasure trove, a vault teeming with sterling banknotes, ripe for the picking. His ordinary day was about to take a dramatic turn, one that would etch his name in the annals of Britain's crime history. His journey home from work was interrupted by a pair of seemingly genuine police officers. The blue lights flashed, the sirens blared, a routine traffic stop, or so it seemed. But the badge-wielding figures were none other than Murray's accomplices, their uniforms a clever disguise. Dixon was no longer a free man. He was a captive, a pawn in Murray's audacious game. The hours that followed were tense. Dixon was subjected to a relentless interrogation, a grueling ordeal designed to extract the secrets of the heavily fortified Securitas depot. The robbers were meticulous, leaving no stone unturned, ensuring they had all the details they needed to infiltrate the fortress. With each passing moment, Dixon's resolve was tested, his spirit pushed to its limit. In the face of such adversity, he did what any man in his position would do. He prioritized the safety of his family and his staff, ultimately yielding to the pressure. The robbers' plan was coming together. With Dixon's information, they were equipped with the blueprint to the vault, the knowledge of its inner workings, its strengths and weaknesses. Their audacious plot was no longer just a plan, it was a reality waiting to unfold. The stage was set, the protagonists were ready, the curtain was about to rise on what would become the largest cash robbery in British history. With the inside scoop in their hands, the audacious robbers were ready to make their move. Disguised as police officers, the robbers fooled everyone, infiltrating the heart of the fortress-like Securitas depot. Imagine, if you will, a scene straight out of a Hollywood blockbuster. With an audacious plan in motion, our actors, dressed in the unassuming attire of Britain's finest, stealthily creep into the belly of the beast. Each step they take is calculated, each breath measured. They're not just breaking into a building, they're infiltrating a fortress. The heavily fortified Securitas depot, a veritable dragon's lair teeming with hundreds of millions in sterling banknotes. Despite the high stakes and the adrenaline pumping through their veins, the robbers maintain an air of calm. Their disguises are their cloaks of invisibility, their shields against suspicion. To the unsuspecting staff members, these are not criminals, but protectors of the peace, officers of the law. The ruse works flawlessly. However, this illusion of safety shatters in a heartbeat as the robbers reveal their true colours. The staff members are swiftly and efficiently subdued, their protests and cries muffled by the cold, impersonal bindings that now hold them captive. The depot, once a bustling hub of activity, descends into an eerie silence, punctuated only by the muffled whispers of the robbers and the distant hum of the cash-counting machines. Now the real task begins. The robbers are in the heart of the depot, surrounded by a sea of cash. It's a sight that would make even the most hardened criminal's heart race. They've hit the jackpot, but time is of the essence. They begin to fill their bags, their movements swift and precise. It's a well-oiled machine at work, the product of meticulous planning and ironclad resolve. The scale of the operation is staggering. They managed to pilfer an astonishing £53 million, a record-breaking haul. Yet, even this mind-boggling sum is but a fraction of the wealth that surrounds them. Due to a lack of time and space, they're forced to leave behind a whopping £154 million. Just imagine, for a moment, the sheer weight of all that money. It's a treasure trove that would put even the most lavish of royal vaults to shame. The robbery, in all its audacious glory, is a testament to the lengths that some will go to in the pursuit of wealth. It's a tale of daring and deception, a dance with danger that teeters on the edge of disaster. With £53 million in their grasp, the robbers vanished into the night, leaving behind a scene of chaos and disbelief. The Securitas depot, once a fortress of security, had been breached, its defences shattered by a band of audacious thieves. The night of February 21st, 2006, would forever be etched in the annals of British criminal history as the stage of the largest cash robbery ever committed on British soil. As dawn broke, the magnitude of the heist became apparent, and a high-stakes manhunt was set into motion. The audacious theft had shocked the nation and left law enforcement scrambling in its wake. The investigation was a colossal task, with the criminals having seemingly vanished into thin air, leaving behind an empty vault and a bewildered nation in their wake. The police had one goal: to bring the audacious thieves to justice. But how does one catch a ghost? The answer, as it would turn out, was through their own folly. The police began by meticulously combing through every inch of the crime scene. It was a painstaking process, each piece of evidence carefully catalogued and analysed. But it was among the discarded detritus of the robbery that investigators found their first break: a dropped mobile phone. This was no ordinary phone, but a breadcrumb that would lead the investigators straight to the culprits. The phone contained a treasure trove of information: call logs, text messages, even a few hastily deleted photos. It was a digital fingerprint that pointed straight to Lee Murray. So, how does one go from finding a phone to arresting a mastermind? Well, it was a case of connecting the dots. The phone records led investigators to a web of accomplices, each one providing another piece of the puzzle. The investigation was a masterclass in tenacity and patience. The police followed every lead, questioned every suspect, and slowly but surely they began to close the net on Murray and his gang. It was a game of cat and mouse, with Murray always seemingly one step ahead. But as anyone who's ever played the game knows, the mouse eventually runs out of places to hide. And that's exactly what happened to Murray. With the evidence mounting, it was only a matter of time before the police got their man. And when they did, it was a moment of triumph tinged with disbelief. The charismatic mastermind, the audacious leader of the biggest robbery in British history, was finally in custody. But even as Murray was led away in handcuffs, questions remained. Where was the missing money? And how had the gang managed to pull off such a daring heist? The answers to these questions would come in time, but for now the focus was on bringing the criminals to justice. Murray's arrest marked the end of a chapter in the investigation, but the story was far from over. The hunt for the missing millions continued, and the fallout from the heist would reverberate through the British economy for years to come. The Securitas depot heist was a crime of audacity and cunning, a testament to the dark allure of the criminal underworld. But it was also a reminder of the power of persistence and the dogged determination of those who seek justice. With one crucial mistake, the mastermind's fate was sealed. And so, the curtain fell on one of the most audacious heists in British history. But the story of the Securitas depot robbery is far from over. The hunt for the missing millions continues, and the legacy of the heist lives on. The audacious heist had far-reaching implications, not just for Murray and his crew, but for the entire nation. The court case that ensued was nothing short of a spectacle. A trial filled with tales of audacity and cunning, the likes of which were usually reserved for Hollywood blockbusters. At the heart of it all, Lee Murray, the charismatic ringleader, was handed down a 25-year sentence. His downfall, a simple mobile phone left inadvertently at the scene of the crime. It was this crucial piece of evidence that led the investigators right to Murray's door, marking the beginning of his end. What's more intriguing, however, is the fate of the stolen £53 million. Despite the extensive investigation and the relentless pursuit of justice, only a small fraction of the stolen money was ever recovered. The rest, it seems, had vanished into thin air, leaving behind a mystery that still baffles many. The heist, audacious as it was, brought to light the glaring vulnerabilities in cash handling security. It prompted a serious rethink and overhaul of the system, leading to more stringent measures and protocols. It also sparked a debate on the viability of cash-based economies, pushing for a shift towards more secure and traceable digital transactions. But the impact of the heist was not just limited to the financial world. It struck a chord with the entire nation, exposing the audacity of crime and the lengths to which some are willing to go for a quick fortune. It was a stark reminder of the constant battle between law enforcement and those who choose to operate outside its boundaries. As we reflect on the Securitas depot heist, we are reminded of the audacity of crime, the cunning of its perpetrators, and the relentless pursuit of justice. It's a tale that continues to captivate us, not just for the sheer scale of the robbery, but for the audaciousness of the plan and the meticulous execution. The £53M Securitas depot heist remains a stark reminder of the audacity of crime and the relentless pursuit of justice. More than a decade has passed, but the audacious Securitas depot heist continues to hold a notorious place in British criminal history. The audaciousness of the heist, the largest cash robbery ever on British soil, still leaves many in awe. Lee Murray's orchestration of such a complex operation, with a level of planning and execution that rivaled a military operation, was nothing short of breathtaking. Yet the lingering mystery remains: where did the bulk of the £53 million go? Despite a diligent investigation, only a fraction of the stolen fortune was ever recovered. The missing millions continue to fuel speculation and countless theories. Did the unrecovered money find its way to the pockets of other criminals, or is it buried somewhere waiting to be discovered? While justice was served, the echoes of the audacious £53 million Securitas depot heist continue to resonate, a testament to a crime that shocked Britain and reminds us that the past was the worst.